Hey, we're gonna play 9 holes in 20-mile-an-hour sustained winds. Whatever this is, it's a lot. It's annoying. It hasn't stopped for 15 minutes. I was planning on filming another review, but instead, we're gonna play with my own bag, get some training in, gonna get ready for the season. Got 2 or 3 weeks before it's getting started. 322. They move this position. Probably gonna throw a forehand. I need to work on them. It'd be very, very hard to work a backhand in this wind. This might even be Conqueror wind right now, but we don't have a Conqueror in the bag. About as good as I can do with that, honestly. I might try to work a Pathfinder. We'll throw forehand backhand as well, just to work on both. I got the angle right. I just really missed my line. Kind of smashed though. Man, this crosswind. Wow, that's crazy. Sucks to miss that one. There's an eagle on the back here. I think I talked about this in my last video. I get so over these putts sometimes, and it causes the nose to get down or weird. Even in these windy putts, in all windy conditions, I need to go through the same mechanics, just account for the wind instead of overcome the wind. I think a lot of times I try to overcome it by like, let me putt harder, let me throw harder. Then I lose spin control. I should have missed that putt. I should have just move my aim point and still have my same putt. Better. I'm grateful for these learning opportunities, but gotta sit back, like still have the back weight transfer, sit in the back, transfer forward. I just try to get too over it. I'm like, I need to overcome the wind, I need to overpower it. And it's like, no, it's not like a negative force against you. It's just a condition. So sometimes I think, oh, it's a headwind, that sucks. I should think it's a headwind, adjust. And I think that mindset shift will be helpful for me over the long run. That's a really pretty basket against that guy. Holy cow. Pretty picturesque, not gonna lie. Pathfinder wasn't as bad as I thought, but if I hit the angle right, it'd be a lot better. A backhand's just gonna be tough to work there unless you force something into it. I was trying to finesse it a little much, which is good practice, and that's why I made sure to throw the overstable, kind of choppy forehand. I'm actually very happy with that forehand drive. Not happy with how I executed the putts. Now I'm remembering, but I am glad that I knew how to overcome it and then like did it, and it was perfect. So that's a big win. Instead of getting over, stay squared up to the putt. This one's 357 out left. I did have a headwind last time I played this, and I think I did the same thing. I was actually talking with Drew about this because I was looking for more overstable scepters, which I think I still want, but this is enough, and I think I really flipped it into that headwind. Like it flipped up and over, and I was like, oh shoot, the scepter sucks. And when I texted Drew, I was like, hey, are your scepters overstable? Because I put in an allotment request, and I wanted to see if his old signature ones were. And I'm like, will they like flip up and turn it all for you? He's like, no, because I have speed control. And he like meant that like a little bit sarcastically, but like mostly not. And I took it that way. I took it like, oh shoot, like that's true. Because when you're throwing into a headwind, if you're just like, I need to overcome and overpower the headwind, like if I'm throwing this way, I'm like, oh, I just need to rip into it. I forget about my speed control. I just try to throw it hard. And the headwind itself, if it's coming 10 miles an hour at you and you're throwing 60 miles an hour, the disc is traveling essentially 70 miles an hour of speed, which is why it's gonna flip more. And so you need more spin even to keep the stability. So he was like, yeah, I could throw a watt into a headwind and make it go left. And it's like, oh, true. And then I think about times when like I go and play with something very flippy and it's fun for review and I have that speed control or spin control. And then I get here and it's like, I need to score, and I get all tense and excited. And it's just like, no, chill out. We're just gonna throw the scepter. It is a tailwind, so I could probably throw a dynasty, but I think this I'm just gonna try to lay flat out there, plenty of spin, let it skip back to the basket. Early release that one. Honestly, a good tree. I really early released that. It came out like here. I'm gonna try cap wrap. It's too much disc, but I think it'll help me to overcome that early release. Too much stability, I should say. Okay, that's good. We will try a forehand. And for that, I think we're actually gonna go dynasty. Even though it's a tailwind, I think if we kind of flip it flat, just let it ride, I think it can actually work out pretty good. That was really sweet. Shout out Eric Oakley. He's a big dynasty guy. Oh, I also noticed I'm like, this is my trajectory. Right at the basket. If I'm throwing something that I need to finish, I need to change my trajectory. This is a helpful round for me. And I like talking it out. I was planning on having this be just like me throwing, but I'm a very external processor, so aim, go straight on hyzer. Too much hyzer. Wow, okay, a little bit of right to left out there. It's the right idea though. I think that same shot just flat with the chariot. Just like that. And just trust that it's gonna finish. because it will. Perfect. Forgot an A2 back there. Very glad I remembered and got it back. I really like an A2. It's so good. Sweet. Liking those putters. 302 into. I'm feeling a headwind. You're not really seeing it on the flag. So I think aim flat to Anheuser, out to the right with the A2. Why didn't anybody ever tell me a single time that the A2 was a good disc? Come on, guys. Not Heiser. Oh, gosh. What I noticed there, I stayed back. Get off that back leg. Back leg does not need to be on the ground as I'm throwing. What am I thinking? Do you want to see how stable this chariot is? Much better, dude. Back leg's off the ground and it's going in the basket. Not a lot of wind in this little cove right here. Oh. You can't make the mistake of throwing this A2 on Heiser. It'll punish you every time. It's like the cap wrap. I think it's a perfect distance. Like Conquer, if I really need it, cap wrap A2. Should cover all my overstability. 348 straight ahead. We are gonna go. I kind of want to throw the chariot. Just touch of Anheuser. Perfect. Yeah, I need a little more bite, but I mean, you say that and then you're like 10 feet past the basket on a 350-foot slightly uphill hole. Gosh, that's so good. I really lined up right, and I trusted the commitment. I'm gonna try the A2. Wow. Yeah, I think for that I'm coming a little more forward. I need to stay back and let the rotation pull that one over. Continue. Really need work with my overstable stuff. Not super confident with these Anheuser, so we'll try cap wrap here. Again, I'm thinking too much. Don't think. Little nose up. Get the nose down. Good thing the scepter's pretty straight. Now one of my favorite discs ever, the Sphinx. That disc is so workable. You just touch it out of the hand. Bang, parked. The perfect flippiness and torque resistant. I think literally everybody can throw that disc. It's so good. Where's the A2 ski? Oh. I really am feeling like with these most recent rounds, like distance is no longer my problem. Like I feel like I have enough to compete. I want more. I'm gonna get more. It's gonna get more consistent, but that's a mid that's 22 feet past it. That's a 370 feet with a mid. I didn't juice it. It was flat. Didn't even turn it over. If I dial on my putt, I can compete this year. I'm so pumped. Maybe reframing that. I get to score instead of I have to score. That's better. Oh, that was a confident putt right in my chain. Yeah, I get to score. That's how I'm gonna try to start thinking about it. Honestly, a little bit more aggressive than defensive mindset. Instead of thinking about counting down from 18 holes, like starting at 18 under or starting at 9 under, and now I'm like, oh, I can get to 7 under. Like that's how I think. Instead of thinking I'm at 3, now I can get to 4. Now I'm thinking about what's next. I'm 2 down, let me get to 3. So now this hole, it's like, okay, let me get to my 3rd birdie. Instead of, shoot, I need to get these next 6. Already, I'm feeling like that's a helpful mindset shift. So I'll keep playing around with that in my head. And I think that might be something that's very helpful for me. A little headwind, let's get our 3rd birdie. Who cares how many we can get left? Worry about that at the end of the round when I can't do anything about it. Look at what's in front of me. What's in front of me is a hole that it's birdieable with an envy. Run up on the tee pad this way. Sometimes when I don't throw it hard, I'm like, oh, let me wimp out. Nope. Commit to the Heiser. Just be slower. Okay, maybe I didn't even throw that flatter. Let's try one of these. I think this is what I would actually throw if I was really confident with it. But I have some newer ones coming to be throwers. Yeah, that's perfect. I love the 2-speed, man. Try A2 through this gap. Touch Annie. It really work on that Anheuser release. That's it. Stay in back. Stay behind it and let it all come through at the same time. There it is. There it is. Okay. We're figuring it out. Better than it could have been. All right. 347 into a headwind. I think it's going to be a chariot. This is going to get stopped up a good bit. Of course, the wind kind of died a little bit, but I was glad to have a little bit of it. I'm gonna aim just inside of this small tree, kind of flat to slight hyzer, but like driven hyzer. Sometimes when I throw a hyzer, I go like this. Don't clip that noise. And it just kind of peters out to the left. What I need to do is throw a hyzer. Don't clip that noise. Don't clip them back to back. Please. That's the type of hyzer I wanted to throw, baby. Is that long? I might try the A2. This is the distance that like is kind of a tweener for even like an Ultra MD5, something like that. But the A2 might kind of really fit that slot. Or flat, which kind of is Anheuser. Get around it. So short. I can still throw a spike hyzer. This is a hole that I hope to eagle one day. I think last time I ranged it was like 580. And I'd be okay with like a circle 3, you know, throw in. I think we're gonna go Faro here. And get some nice bombs out there. So flat to slow, like this hyzer. I don't want to throw it flat because it's gonna turn too much, even in this hail. But I really just gotta commit to a solid shot. I haven't been good about picking an aim point, so I'm gonna try to pick an aim point and like place this. Oh man. Shouldn't have said anything. That was my worst throw of the day. I really tried to over yank that instead of pausing and exploding through. Wow. My first shot's not even terrible. You know what? Dude, I ran up right where I threw that disc. Right where I threw it. The aim point can't be in your mind. It has to be straight with your body. There it is. That's a clean shot. Okay, I'm so used to going bang, 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 control grip lock. Ah! No. As I'm fixing some stuff with my shoulder stability, with this trainer I'm going to, I need to aim where I'm throwing and throw on the right line. You can do that, man. You're good enough. There you go. Come on, that's big. That's really big, actually. I think we're gonna throw Pathfinder. I think I actually need to put a slightly flippier Pathfinder in here. Actually, this might be perfect for when I go down to sea level. Okay, definitely not as unstable as I think it is. Like, for that slot specifically. Because I want it to get close to this, but have more late stability. Whereas this might actually have been the disc. Yeah, that definitely was it. That's parked. Oh, okay. Hey, we're learning. It's not one of our first shots. I'm gonna try to forehand this Faro on hyzer to the left side of this tree. Say that works out for me. Okay, so I still do have 330, so that's good. Oh, I have more than that.